Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Sales Manager Academy podcast. As always, I'm your host Omar, and we talk about leadership in the small retail world, right? What I like to call boutique retail. We're talking about wireless retail, we're talking about appliances, we're talking about AV, we're talking about furniture, we're talking about things outside of big box retail. We're not a generalist, we're a specialist. And it really comes down to building relationships with our clients and customers and community for that long-term success. Whether you're a business, owner operator, whether you're a regional, area, district, market director, your goal is to be able to elevate the skill level of your teams to be able to have them not only perform better, but have them actually stay longer. Because when you take care of your teams, they will take care of the business. They will have that repeat clientele coming back. And that's what we're looking for, okay? Because the days of you thinking that you can just hire somebody off the bat and expect them to be able to get it are long gone, right? It was never a great business plan, still isn't. And you need to have a better understanding of how to be able to train, coach, and develop your people for that long term success. Even if you don't have the capabilities to keep them and retain that personnel long term because you don't have the growth at that moment, that is perfectly fine. They will look back at the time that they had with you and your organization in fondness, and they will recommend not only clients but other people looking for a way to be able to either break into the sales industry or are looking to make a career change. Those are things that you want to look into and look out for your people. And what I want to talk about today is actual training. Okay. I get it, guys. There's a lot of AI stuff out there. I use AI to help reduce redundancies in the day to day work that I do. I get its usefulness. But if you're talking about trying to just strictly use AI or online modules to replace tried and true methods of training and developing, you're going to learn the hard way that it is almost like taking 5 steps back. Okay. You're going to take a couple steps forward, but then you're going to hit that brick wall where you're like, the hell am I doing? Why isn't it sticking? Why isn't it retaining? And that's why we're talking about micro chunking learning sessions, right? You guys know I hate to do 8-hour sessions when it comes to data dump trainings because they're not going to retain 80-90% of the information that they go through there. But when it comes to your 15-minute coaching sessions, your small chunking informational sessions that you're doing to help your people really take in what they're going over and use, more importantly, use that information. Guys, I know we live in the digital age. Some things still work better and are more efficient old school. And what I'm talking about is taking pen or pencil to paper, preferably a pen to paper. There's a few reasons why, and the studies have shown that when people jot down the information, write it down, physically, manually write it down. Not only will they retain the information better, but when there's actions that are supposed to be taken, they're far more likely to actually follow through on those actions. It doesn't matter if they put it into their phone, if they think about it, that still doesn't beat the old school method of what we call journaling, right? And that's what some of these coaching sessions feel like. Like they're writing down what they're going to do, when they're going to do it, how they're going to do it, why they're going to do it. But the psychology, the research shows that that is fundamental to really get people to pivot and visualize, see themselves actually doing those tasks. That is a big difference between writing things down and still doing things digitally. That's why you guys may be thinking, well, I've tried these training sessions, I've tried these coaching sessions. We enter the information online and that's it. Yes, you guys enter the information online and that was it. It goes into the void. They don't remember it because a lot of times they'll speak it, right? And they'll say it out loud, but they won't really think about the process. Sometimes we are pushing them towards an answer and they're not taking ownership of what they're going to do. You as a leader have to understand when to shut up and really go into that sales mindset of 80-20. Let your people do 80% of the speaking and you do 20% of the speaking. They're going to do 80% of that speaking and you're going to do 80% of the listening during those interactions. Because we're really there to help guide them back onto the path so that they don't way too far. And ask them what they're going to actually be doing so that they take ownership of the steps they're going to take to be able to get better. Okay? And that's what we want to focus on because they have to actually sit there and think about what they're going to write out. And when they start writing it out, they start to visualize themselves actually being able to complete this. They start to see those interactions that they constantly have day in and day out. And they can see where they can make that small pivot to be able to become better. Remember, guys, we're not looking for major drastic changes. We're looking for behavioral changes. We're looking for habitual changes, habit changes that are going to stick around day in and day out. They're going to be there for the long term. Remember, we don't motivate our teams. We help them prepare. We give them the actions and help them with those routine actions they're going to be doing over and over again. Because once they see the results from those actions, they will be motivated by those results to continue. When you focus solely on motivating your people and then they don't see results from that motivation, it's self-defeatist. You're just setting them up to fail. Go back to basics. Focus on the fundamentals. Focus on greeting people when they come in. Focus on the questions, how you ask the questions to clients and customers, how you position things, how you offer things to customers. Those make a difference. And a lot of your sellers don't even know that. Okay? And that goes very, very, very long way. You bring these people in and you expect them within 2 weeks to know how to be able to do what took you and your veterans years of practice and knowledge and trial and error to actually master. You have to understand the kind of people you're bringing in, the talent that you're bringing in, and those obstacles that you're going to need to overcome. It goes a long way, okay? And the easiest way and method to be able to get your people to really focus in and hone in on what they're doing is to physically write out those actions they're going to take for them to truly take ownership. Guys, there's studies of people who have broken their hips and they're broken into 3 different studies, 3 different control groups, right? The traditional control group where they don't do anything, the control group where they're given a task, a reminder to exercise, and then the third group that is given all that, but also asked to jot it down, like manually jot it down. And at the end, the people with the least amount of injury, the most amount of flexibility, and the least amount of time from surgery to being able to walk normally is the third group that physically wrote things down. Because it's a reminder. They start making it a habit of, man, I haven't written down what I've done. I haven't journaled what I've taken care of, what I was going to do, and for me to complete it. That goes a long way. Oftentimes, you guys are going to set goals and ask your team, what is your goal? And that's where you leave it. You don't do any follow-up. So there is no way for them to truly look at what they did and reflect, right, on what they actually did. That's why we have to do small daily coaching sessions, guys, because it's not about constantly just what's your goal? What are you going to hit? It's all right, cool. We set the goals at the beginning of the month. We're now, a few days in, a week in, midpoint, whatever it is. This is where we're at. Okay? Walk me through what actions you've taken, what you've done, what's worked, what hasn't worked. All right. Now, what is our game plan from here to the next meeting or to the next coaching session or to end a month, right? I've seen that this has worked, so I'm going to do more of this. I'm seeing that this isn't working, so I'm kind of going to move away from there and I'm going to try positioning it a little bit different. Okay, how are you going to do it? Well, I'm going to do this. Okay, what else are you going to do? I'm going to do this. What else? And you go through until they really can't give you anything else. Guys, that's a quick coaching session. That is how simple it can be. It doesn't have to be super difficult. Oftentimes, we overthink things and we make them harder than what they should be. Coaching sessions should be easy, straightforward, and actually bring value to our people. Oftentimes, they don't want to do coaching sessions because you, as a leader, you, as a manager, aren't bringing any value for them to be able to take away. They're not doing any kind of self discovery. It comes down to, you guys suck. We got to do better. This is what I need you guys to do. Cool. Where's the ownership? Where's their stake in the actions I need to be taken? I'm going to do what my manager told me to do. And if that doesn't work, well, I did what they told me to do and that didn't work. No. In order for change to occur, we have to take ownership of the things that we're doing. Right? Have them write it down. Have them write down the action plans. Have them write down what they're actually going to do. Have them write down the goals that they're going to look into, right? That they're going to try to get after. Have them actually really break that down. That's why I also say you guys need to have those commission talks with your people. Break down the commission calculator. If you guys don't have one, reach out to me. I'll help you guys build one out. I've built countless of them. I'm in the process of redoing another one right now because of compensation plan changes in an organization, right? Not, a couple of things, a complete overhaul of the compensation plan. They don't have to be difficult. And those commission calculators make things so much easier to see for your people, for them to truly realize, oh shit, I'm focusing on the wrong things. Oh shit, this was going to make it easier for me, right? Guys, remember, my motto always to my salespeople is I want you to make more by working less. And you work less by focusing on the things that truly move the needle, by really offering value to your clients and your customers. Because when they're happy, they're going to do repeat business. They're going to send other people your way. They're going to come back to you, right? They're going to keep you top of mind because I had such a great experience. Guys, I go to the same haircut or the same guy to cut my hair. I've been going to him for well over at this point 7-8 years. It took me forever to find somebody, right? Because when I would find them, you guys know how it goes. They move, right? They move locations and nobody at that place wants to give that contact information, let you know, oh, they went to this salon or this barber shop over here. They don't want to do that because they want that business there. Your people can be that person. But it comes down to training and developing them so that they can be that good, so that they can build that trust. Doesn't mean they're going to be solid and 100%. A lot of clients that I've had that have stuck with me, even when I was new to an industry, were like, hey, that open communication means a lot to us. We don't get that from a lot of people, right? We know there were some mistakes, but you helped us through and you were there the entire process and you made sure that everything came out okay. And we are happy. We love the experience that we have now. The experience during, right? I'm talking to you guys in the AV world. I'm talking to you guys in the appliance world. You guys know what I mean. Things do not always go to plan, especially when we're talking about those high-end luxury appliances or those, bigger AV systems. Something's going to happen. It's not going to be smooth. But when you have that open communication and they know that you're going to be there to actually work things out for them and not leave them on red, it makes a difference for them. Because now you're the professional. In order for us to get our salespeople to that point, we have to help them with the foundational level so that they know what to do at the very basic. For them to understand when they're in over the head as well. Because they don't know what they don't know, especially when it's a new industry. So when you just throw them out into the deep end without any support, it's not only a bad look on the salesperson, it's even a worse look on you as an organization to the clients and customers that are out there. That is why training and developing is such a foundational and fundamental need for any business. especially customer service facing businesses, right? Customer facing organizations. It goes a long way. Train your people up. Spend time doing small coaching sessions. Go to some of the basics. You need a form, I got one for you. Go into the description and grab those forms. They will help you to really align your coaching sessions in a very quick and easy method. If you need help building out commission calculators, right? Because you want to have those conversations about the commission plan, about the commission structure, and make it easy for your people to truly realize and understand how they're getting compensated. Guys, I cannot tell you enough how much that makes such an impact in their performance because now they truly grasp things. Okay? That makes a huge difference. Grab them, reach out to me, let me know. With that, guys, I want to say thank you once again for stepping into another episode here at the Sales Manager Academy podcast. As always, I'm your host, Omar. And don't forget, hit that like and subscribe button. Share this with somebody that needs it, and I'll catch you on the next one.